Welcome to Motors and Medicine. On today's episode, I'm going to be doing a 1-year review of my 21 Bronco. Now, I bought this guy last November. Well, I took delivery of it last November, but I had ordered it, I think it was summer of 21. It took about 18 months for me to get it. I think I've mentioned that in the previous video, but regardless of that, I took delivery last November, the week before Thanksgiving, and that's where we're at right now. So we're going to hop in, take a ride, and I'm just going to discuss the good and if there's any potential bad. But I've really enjoyed it so far, so let's go for a ride. Here we go, guys. We're going to go for a ride in the Bronco, and I'm going to discuss how it's been owning this vehicle. If you hear any yelping or see my pup, he's in the back. He likes to go for rides in the Bronco as well. All right, here we go. So like I mentioned, I've had this for a year now, and it's been fantastic. I have to say, I have not had a single problem with this machine. This Bronco, when it first came out, there were a few Broncos during that first initial release that were having some issues with drop-in valves, and it mostly pertained to the 2.7 twin turbo engine, which is the engine I have in mind. After doing quite a bit of research, because obviously that had me a little concerned, I found out that it mainly included Broncos that were made in the summer of last year. So good thing is, since my Bronco was made after that, my Bronco, I believe, was built in October of last year, so it was past that time. And like I said, I've really enjoyed this vehicle. I'll give you quite a bit of the good first. It's a fantastic looking machine. It's got looks that are, for me, every bit as nostalgic as the old school Bronco, which is why I really wanted this car in the first place. The original Bronco, which ended production, I want to say back in like 77, 78, something like that. It's a fantastic machine. It was a two-door only at the time, and that Bronco had a 302 V8 in it. I believe you could have it with a smaller engine, but the 302 V8 was the most popular. But it was the looks of that Bronco that really sold me. And when I was in high school, I had a buddy who had, I think it was like 74, 75 Bronco, but that old style that this is based off of. And I really liked it a lot. And I thought to myself, someday I'll get myself a Bronco. But then a few years back, I think it was summer of 2020, I think that's when I actually ordered this. That was when Ford introduced this Bronco and that they were going to be making it. And quite frankly, I was blown away by the designs because they were so retro, like the old school Bronco, that I really couldn't help but say to myself, I think I really want one of those. So, fast forward past my ordering and waiting for production and all that, finally received it last November, like I mentioned. And I now have 8,751 miles on this Bronco, and it's running fantastic. I have taken it off-roading a couple times. I've taken it down to Moab, done some pretty aggressive trails with it, I think level 4s, and it did flawless. This machine is just incredible at off-roading. The off-road capabilities are fantastic. My particular build is the Big Bend, but I ordered my Big Bend, like I mentioned in a previous video. I ordered it with all the bells and whistles that I could, and then I started adding on any accessories that I was really interested in. And it has never given me a single issue off-road with the Sasquatch package that I ordered it with. The Sasquatch package gives you about 1.5 inches lift above a standard Bronco, 35-inch tall tires, lockers front and rear, a final drive ratio of like 4.7 to 1, which is really good for crawling and off-roading, but it's also good for getting off the line pretty quick. And this thing scoots. As I mentioned in my last video when I did a review on this, I mentioned that I've got the twin turbo V6, the 2.7, and power-wise, it's fantastic. I think it came with 330 horsepower, 420 pound-feet of torque, something like that. And the only modifications I've done to the engine were to add a K&N air filter, which really helped the turbos breathe a little bit better, blow-off valve, and then I added a pedal commander so that I could have improved throttle response. And what that pedal commander really does is it really helps with throttle response. So it opens the throttle faster and for a longer period of time when you hit the gas. And that really helps the turbo spool. So you get into your power a lot faster. I have to say that I've really enjoyed taking this on trips as well. I've done like 3 pretty long trips with this machine a couple times, and I'm going to be taking it again on a trip to New Mexico, visit family for the holidays. And I'll admit, gas mileage isn't the best. I mean, I think the best I've ever averaged on this was on a road trip was 19 to 20. In the city, about 17. But I still think that's pretty good considering this machine weighs 5,000 pounds and is so off-road capable and has good towing abilities. It's been a great machine. I can't argue with that. So I'm going to discuss just a few of the things that I had to change that I wasn't super happy with. First, you all right there, bud? The first was the speakers. The sound system in the Bronco was not that good. Even if you got the upgraded system. So what I did was I bought some aftermarket speakers that I replaced all the speakers in the Bronco with. And that really made a huge difference on sound quality. I also used a program called ForeScan to get into the Bronco's computer and add more power to the amplifier and allow the stereo system to work more efficiently, which it really helped. I also used ForeScan, as I mentioned in the previous video, to unlock all the goat modes, which mine from the factory came with, I think, 6 goat modes, and it was missing Rock Crawl and Baja. And so I unlocked those and added those, so now I have both of those. So I have all 8 goat modes on this machine. And it's pretty cool that you can do that. ForeScan is a real simple program. You just download it onto your laptop, and then you have to either rent or purchase a dongle that you can hook up to your OBD2 port, and basically just open up the computer, and you can make modifications like adding increased stereo sound, turning off your double honk with the double honk when you open the door and leave the cab with it, leaving the engine on, automatic lights, a bunch of stuff that you can modify. But yeah, it's been fantastic. The other thing that was kind of like a negative was, as much as I love the soft top, which I really do, at the time when I ordered this, I originally had ordered a hard top, but the hard top, Ford was having some issues with quality control and production, and so the hard tops were really causing problems. They were falling apart, so I had to go in, change my order to a soft top to make sure I had a good chance of getting my Bronco in a quicker period of time. So soft top, it's been great. The only thing I didn't like about it was kind of loud. when I go on the freeway or on a trip, it's extremely loud on the freeway. However, I was able to mitigate quite a bit of that noise by adding a bikini top, which is what I added to this Bronco. And the bikini top is nice because it's a bikini top that works with the soft top, so it's always in place. It is removable, but I leave it there all the time because in the summertime it helped with insulation to keep it cooler when I had the air conditioning on. And now that we're basically in wintertime, it's really helped keep the heat from escaping through the soft top. So it's been great. I really enjoy driving around. It sits really high, so I kind of get that command seated position. I also like the fact that you can tow about 5,000 pounds with this. I know the manual says 3,500, but in reality, I think it would probably get away with 5,000. I've towed my trailer at home with an ATV on it, no problem. What I really like is the versatility of this vehicle. Like, you can add one accessory after the next. I mean, I've added quite a few, like some lighting and rock sliders, mud guards, front-facing camera, weather mats, you name it, grab handles like I've got. Tons of things that I've added, and they've all just really made it just that much more enjoyable. But I really do love that aspect of this Bronco, that just like the Jeep, you can just accessorize it 6 ways from Sunday and just have yourself a really personalized ride, and I really like that. So, getting back to the negatives, I mean, the noise, not the best gas mileage. But really, other than those two, I can't think of any negatives, because this car, I mean, I'll say this, the exhaust is maybe a little muffled for my taste, and I think eventually I'm going to be putting a louder, freer flowing exhaust on it just to get some sound out of it, because it's just so quiet, and I'm used to having a little bit more exhaust sound. But I can't think of any negative. I haven't had any issues that a lot of people have had with these Broncos, like with their windows. There's a mechanism that the window drops when you open the door, and some people have had that issue. I haven't had that issue. I haven't had any noise issues. I haven't had any rattles that are beyond normal. Really, the fit and finish of my particular build has been fantastic. I couldn't be happier. And I really look forward to taking it off-road again. Now, I'm going to just discuss a few things that I'm going to be adding to this just to make it a little bit more accessorized and more off-road capable. The first of which is going to be coming here probably end of December, early January. I'm gonna put a free-flowing exhaust on the back. That's going to give, it's going to help the turbos a little bit, but it's going to give some sound. After that, I'm going to be adding a full ARB under armor set. Now, this thing from the factory came with like chintzy plastic armor, which isn't very good. There's like one piece that's actually made out of metal. Now, I could have, if I had bought a higher trim level, could have had different armor. Actually, I probably could have added the armor to this level, but I just chose not to, because anything you added in the order banks back when I was ordering this just added on like several months before you could get your Bronco. And that's one thing, it hasn't changed much. I mean, if you order a Bronco today, you're still going to be waiting a while before you get it. Not as long as I did. I waited 18 months. Some people waited 2 years, but that's beside the fact. I mean, I just didn't order it with armor. And frankly, I just didn't think that the Ford armor was going to be all that good anyway. So, but after doing some research, I found that ARB and several other companies make really good underbody armor for these machines. So I'm going to be putting a full underbody armor kit on it. And before I put that on, I think I'm going to be lining that armor on the bottom side with like Herculiner or something like that, just to give it a little textured look, so it'll look better. And then after that, I'm going to be looking to install some LED lights for the tail lights. Now, again, if I'd ordered a slightly higher trim level, I probably could have got the LED tail lights that came with those higher trim levels. But again, I just didn't, I was trying to stay within a certain budget, and I just didn't want to, I didn't really see, the only difference between my machine and a Wild Tracker First Edition literally is those machines have hardtops, metal bumpers, and sway bar disconnects, and that's it. I have everything else that they have. In fact, I dare say more, because I've unlocked a lot of things like the other goat modes and such. Yeah, I mean, I would say that after I do that, I think for the most part, most of the accessorizing for this Bronco will be done. But I don't ever say it's over, because you never do that. When you've got a vehicle and you're into accessorizing like I am, you tend to just modify, and it never ends. But so hopefully you guys found this video useful. Again, this thing, it's been fantastic. I can't give enough praise to this vehicle and to Ford for building it. The looks are fantastic. The way you have a command seat view, the off-road capabilities, on-road manners are great. In fact, when I put it in all-wheel drive, I can actually take a corner pretty quick in this thing, because the all-wheel drive just kind of keeps you planted. So I can't say anything negative about this machine. I'm very happy with it, and look forward to the next 20,000-30,000 miles, and I'll just keep putting on as many miles as I can, taking trips and going off-road. And actually, I'm going to be taking it to Jeep Safari in April of 23, so that's something to look forward to. I'll make some videos about that as well. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Gave you some good insight and information about this build. Just want to say thanks again for the support, and I just ask you guys to please like and subscribe. And this is Motors and Medicine signing off. Have a good one.